When Buddha died, his mortal remains were divided and distributed among the 8 kingdoms where Buddha had lived during his lifetime, and each kingdom had erected a stupa to keep his remains. Now, why was this done? The remains of Buddha were believed to be his living energy, his very presence, and therefore they are very precious to his followers. Ashoka took these remains and further divided them into 84,000 parts to distribute Buddha's presence even wider, and so he buried Buddha's remains under mounds of mud and placed a chhatra on them, practice to honor the revered. This was all it was, and that's what a stupa is, a burial mound. And this was how the majestic Sanchi Stupas of today came into being. The original Sanchi Stupa were actually just half the size of the grand stupas you see today. Over time, they grew bigger because the succeeding dynasties after Ashoka's added to the structure of these stupas. Each one wanted to contribute their bit of reverence. These stupas today are one of the oldest stone structures left in India. But as Buddhism faded out in India around the 12th century, so did the stupas. The Sanchi Stupas were actually a lost and forgotten site until they were rediscovered by the British in 1818. And thankfully, its walls and stones too tell us stories to help us recover its past, especially the doorways on each side of the main stupa depicting scenes from the life and times of Buddha and Ashoka. Interestingly, there is no Buddha on these because he had forbidden any physical representation of him, because then people would start idol worship. At the northern gateway, the first horizontal scene shows Buddhist monks standing in reverence to Buddha. The second scene below that shows the great departure of Buddha leaving his father's palace. You also see the horse times. It was a 3rd century artist's charming vision at portraying a moment of continuous action. The southern gateway shows an image of the stupa of Ramagrama near Lumbini, the only one of the stupas with the original relics of Buddha which Ashoka did not open. The western gateway shows scenes like Buddha's first sermon and his enlightenment. These stories, carved into stone by the nameless artists, gave birth to the modern Jataka tales, continuing the tradition of such storytelling till today. These Sanchi Stupas really are among the largest of Buddhist monuments in the world, but it's funny that they're in a country where it originated but also faded away the fastest.